Hello, welcome to this APA workshop. My name is Betty Rue. I'm a librarian at Lone Star College, University Park. This presentation briefly overviews the elements of APA reference and in-text citations. Also introduces you to some helpful aids when creating citations or using information from your research sources. This page has an image for the helpful guide that we have at upresearch.lonestar.edu/APA. You might want to bookmark this page. It does have a lot of helpful aids within it. You can see from the first page that we do have a template that you can click on. It will download onto your computer, open up into a Word document. You will have in that document a cover page, a references page, and you'll have the margins, the font, the space in the header. All of that will be set so that you can place your content into the placeholder areas. Also, there are pages here for how to cite an article versus how to cite a website or a book or an ebook. Depending on the type of source that you're using, there will be small elements, small changes in how that citation should be put together. But the basic anatomy is two components of a citation. You'll have the reference page citation, but you'll also have this in-text citation, and they work together. A full citation has several elements that serve as an address for anyone to find more information from the article that you've used to support your statements. These elements vary somewhat depending on the type of information source, and we have here an article from a journal that has many elements. An article from a web page is listed secondly, and it has fewer elements. You'll see that there's a article by Light and Light. Their last name comes first, followed by their initials, and then you have an ampersand, and then the last name again with initials. The next element is the date of the publication, and then you have the title in sentence case. That is the words are not capitalized except for that first word of the title and any of the proper nouns that may be in the title. So that's significant change from some of the citation forms you may be more familiar with. APA uses sentence case. And then the next element is the journal name. Where the article can be found in the Law Enforcement Executive Forum Journal, and it is italicized, followed by the volume. It's in the 8th volume, issue 1, and then the page numbers. This particular reference has a matching in-text that we have on this slide. Notice that Light and Light, the first few elements, the author's last names, are brought out and placed inside the in-text, comma, 2008, the publication date, followed by the page numbers, with the PP this time actually inside the in-text. Citation, this whole citation process serves several purposes. It gives credit to the original creator of ideas or words that you use that are from a book or from an article, and using those using the citation protects you from plagiarism. It also gives your essay, your paper, credibility as you use citations to support your statements. Someone who reads your article knows that it's not just information that you think is correct, it's actually supported by experts within the field. And then also it serves the purpose to allow your reader to learn more from that original source. The reference elements answer questions about who, when, what, and where. So the who is the author, the creator of the content. The when is the date of that publication. The what is the title of the article or the web page. And then the source is the where. It's on a website, it is in a journal, it's at a URL, it's on certain page numbers. So the source is the where. And finding reference information. Here's an image from a article appearing in a journal called the Developmental Psychology Journal. You can see there's some color coding going on this slide so that the purple represents the author and that information is placed as the first element, followed by the date in the blue, easily found on that first page, and then the title followed by the source. The Developmental Psychology Journal, the 54 volume 9th issue, page numbers, and then the URL or the DOI in this case. On the open web, a Google search, you may find good content. When I say good content, I'm talking about credible content that's written by experts, supported by authorities in the discipline. You may be able to find the elements easily, like you can with Psychology Today, but most web pages don't make it easy to find these elements. Also beware of junk on the web. This is an exception, but there's a lot of junk on the web. Professors want credible sources. You do also. So beware that finding necessary information from a web page to create a citation can be challenging. In fact, how to cite a web page is one of the most frequently asked questions from students. We recommend that you look to the articles in the library databases to find credible information that is easy to cite. The elements, they go together. The first one going left to right is the author. And the formats for the author could be one person or several people. It could be the name of a group. If you think about governmental documents, rarely do you see an individual author. The author is usually that particular department within the government. So staff within that department have created that document. So the name of the group may be the author in that case. The date, there are some variations on the date. It may be merely the year. It could be the month as well. Could be the month and also the date of that month, the day of the month. Or it could be no date, ND. And that's how you would format a no date article. The title of the work is usually italicized. The website name, the site name is part of the source, and then you have your URL. When to cite? Well, cite, document all the ideas and the facts, the findings that you mentioned in your paper that are not common knowledge. Cite only works that you've read and ideas that you have incorporated into your writing. In-text citations are needed for paraphrases. Paraphrases are when you read the information, understand it, and then you explain it in your paper. And although it is your words, it is ideas or information that came from that original source. So you need in-text citations to point to that. Quotations, of course, are words that are directly from the author, surrounded by quotation marks, and you need an in-text citation for that as well. In general, each work that's cited in the text must have an entry in the reference list, and each work in the reference list must be cited in the text. You can find exceptions to that if you have any questions. The APA publication manual covers everything. Our APA guide, however, is condensed and may give you answers, and we are available. Just check out the guide and you'll see how to contact us if you have any questions about that. In-text citations follows author date formatting. If the work is missing an author, you may be using a group author, or you may be using the title of the work, a shortened version of the title of the work in the in-text citation. Whatever you're using in the in-text citation has been pulled by how you put together the citation on the reference list. So there should be a matching of those first elements between your reference list entry and your in-text. The relationship between a reference list entry and an in-text citation. You can see here the entry and then the parenthetical or the in-text citation from that reference entry. You have the author and the full information for that particular information piece. But for the parenthetical or the in-text inside your writing, you're going to have the author's name only, comma, and the date of the publication, parenthesis closed, and then it's very often at the end of the sentence, so you'll put a period after that. The narrative citation is another format you might want to use. It is where you pull out the author's name and it becomes part of your sentence, and then your in-text is only the date of publication. And that might be a sentence that begins with according to Alexander, or as Alexander states. And right after Alexander you would have parenthesis, the date of publication, parenthesis closed. That is a narrative citation. Here is an example on the left-hand side of a paper where that you're writing about humor, and the third sentence uses a narrative citation. However, as Nussbaum et al., and et al. Stands for there are other authors that are represented by the et al., but in your paper you're going to put as brief amount of an entry as possible, so you can use et al. And then the in-text citation, since you have the author's name here, the in-text citation is the date of the publication, and it is a quotation. So you're going to also pinpoint exactly where that quotation is, and it's on page 231. Notice that there is a P.231, parenthesis is closed. And then on the reference page, which is alphabetized, whoever reads your paper knows that they can find Nussbaum as the very first part of that reference, and that's exactly what they're looking for, and there is a correlation between your in-text and your references. And now, this is the end of the workshop. We do have an exit ticket activity. We'd like you to go to this form, the APA Citation Practice Form, and complete this form. We will, upon your submission of the completed form, send you a verification, and we'll send that also to your professor to verify that you have attended and participated in this particular workshop. The form is very brief, allows you to look back at the Psychology Today article and pull out the elements and give us your citation, both reference and in text. Answer one question and then hit the submit button. Thank you very much.